Y'all come on into Miss Dana's kitchen. I want. Hey everybody, I have 3 words for you. Apples, pecans, and cinnamon. Well, actually I have 4. How about yum added to that? I have got this amazing recipe for you. It's a really old recipe, and you know those are the best kind. And we're gonna make some apple and pecan and cinnamon bread. And I have my little Nico right here helping me. Hey, Sugie. Hey, he's looking at the pose. Hey, hey. So here we go. I actually have this written down because I want to make sure and get it right, because this is such a good recipe, and it's a really old recipe, and I'll show you how you'll know things like that in just a second. But I have 2 cups of flour, a teaspoon of baking powder, a half a teaspoon of salt, and I'm going to mix those together. Remember I said anytime you have dry ingredients, it's good just to mix them up a little bit before you add other things. So here we have a cup of sugar, and I'm going to add a teaspoon of cinnamon. Now that's because we love cinnamon. So if you don't like cinnamon, just leave it out of this recipe. But I think that you will be glad that you added it, actually. It just gives another depth of flavor. And especially this time of year in the fall, and one of the reasons I wanted to do a recipe with apples is because, you know, apples are in season. And you can get those beautiful small apples that actually come from upstate New York. I mean, they grow apples here, they grow them in Louisiana, but upstate New York is kind of famous for them. And you can get those at the grocery store now. And they're small and so sweet and just perfect for cooking with. So here are my dry ingredients. I'm going to add the zest of a lemon. I think anytime you add fruit, it just helps to add a touch of lemon. So I'm going to stir that around, and then I'm going to actually put my apples in now. And you know, anytime you work with apples or pears are in season too. They're so beautiful. You just squeeze a little bit of lemon over them, and it helps them to retain their integrity. So this is 2 cups of apples. So you want to add that into your dry ingredients. Oh my goodness. And I'll tell you, you can peel your apples if you want to. You can grate them if you want to. Just whatever you think you would like in this recipe. My mama always left the peeling zone because she said that's where all of the nutrition was. So I'm leaving the peeling zone. Then we have a cup of chopped pecans. And I'll tell you what, chopped pecans are in season now. If you want some amazing ones, you can get them from Louisiana. You can order them on the internet, or you can get them from Georgia, because it's just right here by us. But I always get them from Louisiana whenever I can. So here's how the mix looks. And now we are ready to add our wet ingredients. So here's where you know that it's an old-timey recipe. It calls for a 1.5 tablespoons of mayonnaise. And what that does is add a little bit of extra fat. And it actually adds just a tiny bit of flavor too, which kind of a flavor that makes it a little bit acidy, but it's so good. And a stick of butter melted. I'm just going to add that in. A teaspoon of vanilla. And then I'm going to beat 2 eggs. Now I wanted to show you that there are 2 eggs. The last time we did a video, we did hush puppies, and I had the eggs already beaten. But I have 2 eggs here. And whenever you want to beat them, you just kind of poke them and get them started. And then you don't have to beat them like really hard, but it helps to have them mixed up a little bit whenever you add them to all of your other ingredients. So here we go. Now all you do is stir all of this together. I'm going to stir it with a spoon. Nico likes this. Do you like this recipe? Do you like this recipe, y'all? And you know, there's an old-timey cake too that I've actually put on Miss Dana's kitchen, and it's my mama's apple dabble cake. I have the recipe written in her handwriting right up here on my wall because it's such a treasure to me because she didn't write many recipes out. She kind of went by feel and taste and the way it looked. And so I found that recipe written down in a little notebook, and it's just such a treasure to me. So I have it printed on my wall. But this bread reminds me a lot of that because there's so many apples in it. There's not much flour. And so you kind of get a taste of apple and pecans in every bite. And that's what you want. And the butter makes it so nice and rich. So mix, mix, mix. And you can see it's kind of a thick batter. And then we have a loaf pan, and we are going to put it in this loaf pan. Now, you can make this into cupcakes if you prefer, but I think it's kind of fun to have breads like this whenever it's this time of year because it's just a warm loaf of bread is so much fun to have in the mornings or whenever you need a snack with coffee if you have friends over. So we're going to put the batter in the pan.
Did you butter it or you sprayed nonstick spray on it?
Yeah, I sprayed it. But you can butter it if you want to. And a little trick to buttering is to take the paper from the butter that you have melted and just wipe it down like that. And then you have butter on it. Now what I did was after it was baked, I added butter. I just melted some more butter and I brushed the top of it and it made it really yummy. So here it is. It's kind of a chunky little bread. Okay, we're going to bake it at 325 for an hour and 10 minutes. And I'm telling you what, the aroma of this bread is amazing. And everybody will be coming running in because they will love how it smells and how it tastes. Now you can toast it in the oven with a little butter on it if you like. Have it for breakfast. You can have it for coffee or just any time. It's one of those things that just adapts itself so easily to a lot of different occasions, or just bring it to a friend, something to share. So I hope you enjoy it. Happy fall, y'all. Bon appetit.